This is Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy of college football and one of the most dominant quarterbacks the game has ever seen. With Trevor Lawrence leading the Clemson Tigers to a national championship, today we wanted to see if Trevor Lawrence could sit back in that pocket with those Georgia SEC Bulldogs and get them a natty. It seems like they already knew Trevor. I mean, he was starting already. We're going into Trevor Lawrence first practice. He was sitting in that pocket and didn't connect with the receiver. And it's understandable. You didn't know none of these wide receivers coming in, but threw a dot to the dude that had my damn number. But missing another pass, I have to do better. Before we get this video started, shout out to Nelson333. If you want to be featured in the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and absolutely tell me who you want next. Going into Trevor Lawrence's first game against UCLA, let's do it. We're dropping back into that pocket on 1st and 10. I seen him cross that middle, so I threw a dot. And Trevor's the type to come out and read the defense. He did two safety eyes, so I said I'm gonna fake him with the run. Gotcha! Throw the curl. Going into the next play. I'm rolling out that pocket, seen a corner route, and he was gone. Oh, man. I mean, these Georgia receivers are fast. But on 1st and 10, breaking that tackle, seeing get off of me, and man, just look at this athleticism. He tried to throw it up the field, but he deflected it. With it being 7-7, on 2nd and 10, I gotta throw a dot down the field, and bam, my teammate got hit hard. So going on 3rd and 10, I was sitting in that pocket, and they are coming. With us putting that ball back, I said I'm gonna come back out and throw straight dots. Yeah, he got that ball. On his 3rd and 4, we ran drag concepts, and he absolutely took it for 6. But on 1st and 10, sit back in that pocket, being patient, looking up the sideline, he was wide open. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I was sitting back there again, and look at that, man, I was throwing dots, even told the D lineman, you gotta be better, cause y'all suck. But oh man, on 1st and 10, I get that ball. Oh, get down. And nowadays, if you're a quarterback, you better get down so you don't get hurt. But throwing another dot, man, we got down that field, and on 1st and 10, Trevor Lawrence could, and he would get outside. Oh, he got one man run through him. No, he got booed. So with it being 28-25, I gave a sweep off to my running back, and he took it for 6. And guess what? I gave that ball to the running back again the next drive, and he was not playing. He wanted his money. So we're going to win a big game, 56-25, and he gets player of the game with 6 total TDs. So going into Trevor next game against Texas was going to be a great one. But we're breaking this first tackle. I said, get off of me, but O-line, help me. I'm like, damn, I'm going down. And they were fired up early, so I said, I got something for you. I threw a dot. And that next play on 3rd and 5, I was sitting in that pocket and didn't see the receiver. Almost threw an interception there. But on 1st and 10, oh man, I break one tackle, but just look at this, being patient and relentless. Throwing a dot down that field. He broke about 2 tackles. And I mean, what's that receiver name? That dude is a dog. But man, I go down hard. And on 2nd and 10, I get him with a play action, and man, I fumble that ball again. And I think I can finally say it. Clemson Tigers O-line was way better. Oh man, look at Trevor Lawrence as he breaks out of that and goes down. Like I was saying, Clemson O-line is better than Georgia as I throw another dot. And on 1st and go, I run it straight up that middle, break the tackle, and oh man, I can get in for 6. With us now being up 14-6, we gotta keep this lead as I throw an interception. Come on, Trevor, that's the first one of the season. But it was no biggie because our defense backed us up. And on 1st and 10, Trevor will roll out of that pocket, and oh man, could he find a receiver? Yes, he will. It will be his running back. Breaks a tackle, and I told him, well, get your hand off of me. But on 2nd and 22, I'm sitting back in that pocket, dropped back a little too far, but man, threw it up and kind of behind my receiver, and he went to go get it. But on 3rd and 3, Trevor dropped back and made the wrong decision. Threw it in double coverage. But on 3rd and 10, I got that ball back that next drive and threw a dot, but he was just out of bounds, so we turned it over again. It was now 15-17. Threw it to that number 4. He will break one, not only one, but 2. But something I can't say is this whole line we got is trash. As I break another one and get bammed. I mean, help me, dude. On 3rd and 10, we only up by 2, man. This is not good. I ran that ball as hard as I can, and oh man, almost did what Antonio Brown did on that punt return. But man, I ran that ball and fumbled again. That's another turnover for Trevor, but he gets it back, and it's like they're not scoring as I throw a dot. My receiver went up, breaks a tackle, and he was floating. But sadly to say, man, we didn't score that drive. On 3rd and 21, we just ran the ball. We gave up. We lost 23-20, and Arch Manning had a better game than me, they said. I mean, I had 215 yards and 1 interception, no TDs. Who you think had a better game? But after having a hard game last week, going into this one was even harder. 5-0 Kentucky. Let's do it. Boy, oh boy, when I get to jumping on my toes like that, you know it's over. But I throw an interception. Oh man, I was starting off bad. Trevor Lawrence shook that one off his shoulder. We're losing 13-0. He tried to throw a dot, but he deflected that. And I said, dog, some gotta give. So on 2nd and 10, I ran that ball as hard as I can, broke a tackle. Oh, I spin out of that one, breaking that one. And you need to get down, Trevor. So on 3rd and 6, sit back in that pocket. I'm not gonna lie, it started to get a little scary, but he dotted him up. And on 1st and 10, guess what? He threw another interception. This Kentucky defense was all over. So I mean, going into the next one on 2nd and 9. They can't block, so he just runs it every time, fumbles the ball again, and man, we're losing 13-0 going to the half. We have to do better. We get that rock coming out of halftime on 1st and 10, and I throw a damn interception the first play as we get back out of scrimmage. So I said, hey man, I'm trying to hurt myself. But with it now being 16-0 on 3rd and 10, oh man, I could scramble out of that pocket, but see no options and throw it to the ground. But I said, let's get under center. Let's try something different. And on 1st and 10, I dropped back and didn't even see the dude right there. And guess what, man? I ain't catch him. He took it for 6, and he did the gritty. And we're looking like Coach Brown versus BYU. But hold on, they forgot you were Trevor Lawrence. Tell that boy that he can't mess with you, Trevor, as you throw a dot and he goes for 6. I kind of don't really know what 2 points gonna do for us, but we're going again. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. Oh man, I threw another interception, and man, it might just be over. They being 33-8, it was all or nothing. So I threw a dot to my receiver. And after this right here, man, this was another interception. I gave up. I absolutely said it's over. You all win the ball game 33-8, and Trevor Lawrence ends the game off with 6 interceptions. Nothing else said. But going into our next game against those Tennessee Vols was gonna be a great one. And oh man, Trevor dropped back, sees no option, rolls out, and bam, he cleaned his clock. And if you ask me, that actually fired him up as 31 knocked him on the ground, but he still completed the pass to the wide receiver. But going into the next play on 2nd and 8, oh man, he was coming with bad intentions, and this O-line is trash. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna give it to the running back since y'all don't want to block. On 1st and 10, man, dropping back in that pocket, finding a receiver, throwing a dot on 1st and 10, play action. Oh man, I see him up that field. That's another dot. Oh, will he break through? Oh, he could, and he would go all the way for 6. On 1st and 10, man, we're finally up, and we got the advantage, so we're gonna take over with the streak route, taking it all the way to the crib. But fellas, after getting whooped by Kentucky, we're not done just yet. On 3rd and 22, I roll out of that pocket. Oh, I see nothing but green grass as I could. Oh man, he will break a tackle, break another one, and get put down. 3 minutes and 42 to go. 11-14. We're not up by much. I break a tackle, will fumble the ball, and they will recover. And I know Trevor Lawrence didn't just sell that game. They go up by 4 points, and I throw a dot of the out route. And oh man, he's not done. He's breaking tackles and getting up the field. And Trevor Lawrence will win us this ball game on 1st and 10. Finds his tight end across the middle. He breaks a tackle, and he doesn't get in yet. But on 1st and go, guess what? Dive! But that's going in and scoring and getting the ball back. On 2nd and 1, we ran the ball, and man, look at the running back. He said he wanted it all. That is the next Barkley. But after winning 28-18, Trevor Lawrence gets player of the game with 3 total TDs. We're going into our next game against those Florida Gators. Just like with this Georgia O-line, I'm trying to survive life. I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm running it outside, and they are rallying. But on 3rd and 1, man, dropping back in that pocket, I had 2 options, but I went with the post route because the safety didn't know what he was doing out there. And man, if Trevor Lawrence dropped back in that pocket, he seen that tight end, and he dunked on him. But it was a penalty, and it was pass interference on the defense, so we will take that. But they send the blitz, and fumble goes Trevor Lawrence. Hold on to the route, man. Come on, dog. Going into the next play with a little play action on 1st and 15. Trevor Lawrence rolls out of that pocket, and man, are these D linemen really that damn fast? And I need to get it together. And on 2nd and 1, dropping back, I threw an interception to the linebacker. Come on, man. But we've been down and worse before. It's 14-0, and on 2nd and 10, I break a tackle, and oh man, I bet you I'm gonna find a target down that field as I throw a dot. And not only was that a dot, but on 2nd and 10, I throw another one for 6. And Trevor, I don't know who they think you is, my brother, but on 1st and 10, you threw another dot and said, ha 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 ha. Gotcha. And I mean, how about those Georgia Bulldogs? But on 2nd and 14, it was 14 up, and man, he threw me to that ground, but I threw a dot. And on 1st and 10, I threw another dot. And Trevor Lawrence is the truth. On 1st and 10, steps up in that pocket, throws the post, and man, we get up the field. And on 2nd and go, guess what? He said he's gonna run it in himself as he could, and he would go in. Muscle up. But that's even going up by a touchdown and getting the ball back. I still want to pass the ball, but I don't know why. We should have just ran the ball, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing out there? You're gonna absolutely fumble the ball. But we finally used common sense and nailed the ball. We going to win 24-21, and he gets player of the game with 3 total TDs. This here is always going to be the game of the century. Georgia Bulldogs against Alabama Crimson Tide. And it didn't start off well because the offensive line can't block, and that defensive line got to me with bad intentions. But getting that ball back on 1st and 10, I was sitting back in that pocket and threw a dot. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, dropping back and throwing a hot bad boy. I know his ribs is on fire. So after he took a big hit, I didn't want to take one of those rest of the game. Bam, he got me. So on 3rd and 6, Trevor Lawrence got to make some shake. We got to score, but no, that's another turnover downs. So on 1st and 10, we get that ball back next drive, and they are rallying the ball. So man, just marching down the field just a little bit. On 1st and 10, we throw an interception, and oh man, they are taking over. And even though we may not be winning, on 3rd and 26, Trevor Lawrence never gives up as he sees it was a cover 3, so he hit the streak route right up the seam, and he could, and he would go for a 6. And he said, hey coach, we found their weakness, and he throws a post route, and man, he throws another interception, and he could hit that corner. He's trying to return it, but we going to lose 20-7. But man, going into the last game of the season, it's either win this game or no bowl game. We were playing against Charlotte, and it started off intense, and I was wondering how are they ranked number 25? Well, that's none of our business. We just gotta win the game. And on 1st and 10, man, rolling out of the pocket, I seen action, I couldn't get it to him. But dropping back in that pocket on 2nd and 10, I some reason thought this corner route was wide open, but that was triple coverage now that I look at it, and man, he took that thing for 6. But on 2nd and 10, this time we get it together. Trevor Lawrence threw a dart. And on the next play, man, this D lineman was coming out. So it was time to be a man. On 2nd and 10, I dropped up in that pocket, seen the post, and got him. With us going up by 3 points, we had to keep that foot on the pedal, and I threw an interception. It's kind of like I was selling the game, but bam! And fellas, that's what you call a menace to society. A quarterback that's mad as he throws another interception, and he was kind of selling the game. But guess what, fellas? This game wasn't over. It only take one pass, and with us being down by 4 points, I threw a dot to the sideline, and he took that thing all the way to the crib, and we will go on to win 20-17. Not only did we just win the game, but we got an invite to the Alamo Bowl. And we were gonna play against those Oklahoma State Cowboys until Trevor Lawrence said forget everything, and he said forget school, and he was ineligible. And I mean, not even having a chance at Heisman. I mean, I kind of understand how many interceptions that Trevor Lawrence had, but in my opinion, Trevor Lawrence was better with the Clemson Tigers. The Georgia Bulldogs, he was trash. But y'all drop in the comments down below who do y'all want to see next, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to be featured in the next vid.